Hi everybody. Okay, so recording this video has taken a long time for me because I feel like I'm entering this weird stage where there's like a chasm between what it is I'm creating and what it is I want to be creating or the vision I have in my mind. And with that, I feel like it creates a lot of fear for me because then I start to enter a space where I'm overthinking, and then I start to question whether or not I can actually do the things that I have inside of my personal goals. It's funny because I just did a reading where they're talking about all private goals are neurotic. Oh, in a sense, all of them are neurotic in a sense because the enlightened man knows that everything is working in his favor, that forces outside of his control, life, God, whatever you want to call it, is creating the life that he desires, regardless of what he does, regardless of whether or not he chooses to eat eggs or salad for, for breakfast in the morning. Don't know why I use that example, but and I don't even know what this video is about necessarily, but I feel like I want to record something. So coming from that state, I feel like I don't know. It's a weird stage to be in where you have so much to make and you have so many ideas inside of you, so many so many ideas. And now you're entering a stage where you're putting it outside of yourself now. It's that stage where the internal work starts to become externalized. You're asked and you're called to bring these things out into the world so other people can participate in them and partake in them. And it, and I feel like in that realm, things feel more out of control. And in that realm, I feel like things feel really out of control. It's like when something's in your mind and you're twisting it and you're like imagining, you're fantasizing, then it only exists there. There's no variables outside of your control. There's no chance of it not working out because you haven't even tried it. there's no there's no risk involved because it's just a dream, it's just a fantasy. And making it into reality is the part that really starts to hurt. And when you feel like, and I feel like I've been at the stage before. I've been at the space before where you're like, you feel all this. You feel all that's meant for you, all you're meant to be doing. And you feel it in a sense that it's not even just like, these are things I fantasize about doing, but these are things that I know in like my gut that are for me. Not in my head, in my gut that I know is for me. Like I feel it in my body that this is for me. So there's no influence of my mind or my ego. Just to me, it's just truth. And I think to exist within the truth can be a little scary. You have to stop, you have to let go of so many things. You have to let go of your identity. You have to drop the ego. Stop worrying about what people think of you, or else you're gonna be miserable. I think realizing now, the point I'm at now, where I realize I'm the only instrument in my own misery, in my suffering, in my anxiety, in my fear, and I get to really choose whether or not I experience those things, has been insane. And when I say you choose whether or not to experience those things, it's not to say that these things don't happen, but your approach, your participation in them changes because you recognize you aren't these things. You recognize you aren't your fear. You recognize you aren't your anxiety. You're the one that is noticing that you're experiencing these things. Your awareness at the end of the day. And with that comes the work of choosing to sit in it, to sit with it, and to approach your boundaries and your fears. Because we don't just feel afraid of things for no reason. This is one of the things that I feel like was one of my first like big epiphanies when I started this spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it. All of it is connected to something. Like if we think about it, there's a reason why if I said something, There's a reason why it bothered one person and it didn't bother another, because we all have our inner conflicts that we're dealing with, and other people who appear in our lives come and they touch them and they activate them, but they always existed inside us before. In the yogic traditions, the Eastern yogic traditions, this would be called your samskara, your cycles, your karma. Because karma operates on many levels, as you know. And these things aren't as black and white as this thing hurt me, this thing doesn't hurt me, this thing's bad, this is good. It goes beyond that, because when you step into recognition that you are not a human being, you are not this identity you've created, this personhood you've embodied, you are awareness, the witness of these things, then you also have to recognize that you have to choose between engaging in this constant conflict of the dualities. Because everything exists in duality, but here's the thing. And we could talk about this in another video, the seven universal laws. If you've ever read I'll put the name of the book up, but it's a book. The book breaks it down very clearly. The universal laws, the laws basically that we kind of define our universe, and one of them being is a law of polarity. Everything is just on a pole. Everything has this equal opposite entity, or whatever you want to call it. And we start to recognize that we will always experience these things. So we will always experience the witnessing of the right, the witnessing of the wrong. We'll always experience the choice we made and the choice we didn't make, the excitement and the fear. Well, I wouldn't say those two things are necessarily exactly polar to each other, because people would say fear and love are the two separate, are the two poles. We don't have to get into that right now. When you recognize these things, you also recognize there's a point in which you start to recognize. But when you start to recognize these things, that everything does exist in this way, so you know that is the truth. You recognize you don't have to participate. And I've been talking a lot about choosing to participate and like choosing not to participate. But to witness is to allow. It doesn't mean that you're not noticing the fact that these two poles exist. But you're not entering the struggle of trying to choose between the two of them, trying to understand either one even. Because not everything is meant to be understood. Understanding comes. We can seek understanding through learning, through personal growth, through our own development, but we can never make it happen. We can never force it. We can really only just allow it to happen. That can either choose to be a passive experience for you or an active experience for you, but something that you can do in this world that will make something click for you until it's ready for you to click, for it to click. So in the recognition of that, we have to realize that in the realization of awareness, and I hope the audio isn't absolutely chopped. If it isn't, I think I'll just post it anyway, because I want to break through this, whatever it is I'm experiencing, and come out the other side. It's a realization that in these poles, beyond these two poles, is freedom. Because life exists outside of the poles. This is just one of the many rules that our universe plays by, but it isn't everything. And while you can get lost in the fear of trying to choose between these two opposing forces and trying to make sense of them and trying to understand things that are meant to be understood until they're ready to be understood, you can instead choose to let go, lean back, and take a break. Because when you realize that we're doing so much all the time, with our minds especially, our minds is the main place we're doing so much, let's be real. You know, outside of actions. A lot of the time we take actions as a result of the chaos our mind has created, and not from the peace of the knowing or the acceptance of how things really are at the moment. We don't take actions from a place of waiting or patience or peace in the respect that things will change. You often make choices as a grasp. We oftentimes make we oftentimes make choices as a desperate grasp for control. And a lot of the times it just creates more suffering for us because these things are never meant to be controlled in the first place. But what I'm trying to say is I'm realizing a lot of shit. I'm realizing a lot of shit. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense, but it doesn't have to. I'm getting okay with that. I'm getting so okay with that. I'm so happy with that because if I knew everything I was ever meant to know, I lose my mind. B, that's literally physically impossible. My brain would not have the capacity for that. And C, I probably would have made shittier choices, to be honest. I probably would not have made the choices that would lead me to the understanding and the knowledge that I need to be able to accept the things that are really for me at the end of the day. It's like, my biggest example was failing out of school. I was like in the third year of a nursing program, and I failed out. But now that I'm going back, I've never felt more proud or more prepared or more like confident in my path and what I'm choosing to do for myself. I realized that I don't even want to be a nurse in the first place. I want to be a doctor. Like, I was really struggling with that because I felt so limited by my choices. I felt so limited by what it is I've chosen for myself. And it created a lot of fear in me that I was going to be stuck in a place that wasn't feeding me. The things we learn the most, I think, is that the things are happening for us. Whether or not we want to spend time losing our minds in fear of how they'll happen, when they'll happen, what it takes to make it happen. It's up to us. We get to choose. And ultimately, when it comes between choosing to live in worry and fear of whether the things that have always been working out for me are going to work out for me, or just letting things be and accepting the fact that things are working out for me despite my fear, despite anxiety, despite possible feelings of stress, and choosing to find that feeling, the experience of that feeling, and bring my awareness to it, bring my gentle loving care and acceptance to it, so I can make space for the things that I'm going to have. But yeah, more videos coming soon. I think my next video is gonna be like a life update and like a little bit of like who am I, where am I, why am I even doing half the shit I'm doing? Because I feel like that's been a long time in the making. Yeah, I'll do the rest of you too.